What's up, fam? Welcome back to the show. Today, I thought I'm going to share with you how I made $3,000 in 20 minutes and how you can do it too. But actually, in fact, I made much more. This is just one example of many, and it will teach you exactly how you can do the same with ease and very little stress. If that sounds good, subscribe to the channel. We bring you content like this every single day. Smash the like button. I truly appreciate that. Leave me a comment throughout the show if you have any questions, or if you just, want to, just comment something on the show. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I bring you the best alpha in the crypto space from the past 24 hours, all the news you need, and the next 24 hours, and then tutorials and tips and tricks like this. So if you like this, you can find me on X as well. There's a link in the description. This is my X profile. Let's get into it. Now, the way I made $3,000 is quite simple. You have two ways of trading, right? You can do TA, which is technical analysis, and then you can do fundamental analysis. Now, for me, my strength is rather TA, but I'm moving more and more, especially with the influence of Ran, I'm moving more and more into fundamentals and trading based on fundamentals, mixing and adding a little bit of TA spice in there. So the big question is, when you trade fundamentals, where do you find the alpha? Like, how do you actually know to buy into a token? You read the news, you don't know what that really means, you don't know how to interpret it, you don't really understand it. And the best way to actually do it is to use an aggregator of news. But the aggregators that you can find out there, the problem with them is that they take every bit of news. It's not a filtered, high quality feed. It's plugged into different websites and news outlets and groups and whatever, and then the aggregator just takes everything all at once, and then you can read it in one feed. Now, we have created a tool that is completely free to use and absolutely incredible. Banter Bubbles, you might have heard about it on our shows, but I want to show you what the power really is with Banter Bubbles and how you can actually make money out of it. So let's jump into it. Number one, very important. Before I jump into the show, I wanted to just give a quick word to our sponsor. They are my partners on the channel, 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗪. The reason why I bring them for you every time I partner with exchange, I want them to give you guys a great deal. So they are doing their non-KYC available worldwide exchange. And if you sign up, you get a 20% deposit bonus. That means if you sign up now using the link in the description, I don't know how long the deal is open, depending on when you watch the video, but for the next 24, 48 hours, this is definitely on. If you sign up using my link in the description, you get 20% deposit bonus on your deposit. So if you deposit $1,000, you get $200 to trade with. You can do whatever you want with it. If you make a profit, you can withdraw that. If you deposit $2,000, you make $400 back. You get the deal. Check them out in the description. Now, when you understand how to trade, when you know where to trade, which is 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗪, in my opinion, at this time, you need to understand how to trade it or what to trade. Now, with Banter Bubbles, we created a tool that not only shows you the market real time in a very visual way, but also incorporated a lot of tips and tricks into the site, very useful tools that you might not know about. So in general, a very short TLDR, if you have not used Banter Bubbles yet, it's a tool that shows you the market right now. You can filter for hour, you can filter for daily, you can filter for weekly, monthly, yearly, and then you have, as the gains grow on the bubble, virtual just came in like very close in here for me. But if the more you use the tool, or the more you go up on a time frame, the tool gives you more bubbles and bigger bubbles. So if there is bigger game, there is bigger bubble, and as you go down, you will see that virtual only had a 400% run this month, so the bubble becomes much smaller, other than the $8,000 in a year. Now, this is the way you can filter it, and you can just see. When you click on a bubble, you can see a bunch of information, hourly, 4 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year gains. You see the chart, you see the market cap, fully diluted valuation, so you see every relevant information in here. You can also trade, you see where you can trade it, and if someone tags 𝗙𝗢𝗎 in our community, which I'm going to talk about in a second, you are able to see the feed here. So if, for example, someone comes in here and they say 𝗙𝗢𝗎 network hit 7.5 billion transactions. So you see that news. You can go down and say, someone tagged backpack wallet and exchange adds support for 𝗙𝗢𝗎. So if someone tags 𝗙𝗢𝗎 in our news group, which again, I'm going to talk about in a second, is 60 researchers posting constant alpha that is filtered high quality alpha. But if they tag it, you can see it here. So for example, if I go into the hourly and I look at, 𝗙𝗢𝗎 was a great example, but let's look at Doge, for example. Now, this is the weekend when I'm recording this show, so there is not much happening here. But even now, you can see here, for example, on Doge, you see an analysis on what you can expect from Doge, from someone here. You can see Doge, Fefe, and 𝗙𝗢𝗪 all doing more volume than Solana today, despite being in some cases 1/10 of the market cap. So like you can see these different narratives and different posts coming in here, and then you can also chat about you can also chat about the token in here. Now, what are other tools you can use with Banter Bubbles? For me personally, I use it for a couple of things. The biggest thing, and the way I also made a lot of money, is through the Newsroom. On the top right corner, you can see this Newsroom button here. Now, the way it works, you immediately see my post because I posted it in here. But the way this Newsroom works is that it pops out here. Probably there will be a pop-up at some point, but it pops out here, and you will be able to scroll a feed of information fed by hand-picked researchers. So we at Banter have 40 to 50 to 60 researchers, depending on who is when, where. But we've got people who are plugged into the industry 24/7 and tweet into a WhatsApp group, then gets added here onto the feed. Now, I personally prepare for every single show I make through this. So I post a lot of things as well. You see here, for example, this mind-blowing thing. TikTok owners created an AI of himself, and you can discuss with that AI, just an AI agent. AI agents are blowing up now, but so you can get the latest information. For example, you might be longing Athena, right? And you can get here, and we will see O's posted. BitMEX co-founder 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗪𝗪 unstaked 9 million Athena and deposited onto Binance. So like, you can take this information and interpret it in a way where, okay, if someone took 9 million Athena and deposited 7 into Binance, there must be some kind of selling pressure coming. Now, this is just one example, but in general, we have a bunch of discussion here. So it's not only, so for example here, Kiwi says IDA returns have significantly decreased by 54.9% from last week, comparing the top 5 launches of each respective week. There was no reply. Yeah, so for example, there are discussions here, right? So Jay here, the Irishman here, just posted, and he said send it to 50. He posted this hype token at $5 into the Newsroom here. This is the trade that I actually didn't take, but he posted the trade here at $5 and called for it to go higher. $5, guys, 6-7 X's ago, and then now he's calling for 50. And then obviously we have back and forth about it. So the Newsroom is one of the most powerful tools on Banter Bubbles. Now, how did I make money? It's very simple. When there was a listing happening, someone at the Newsroom posted that the valuation of the listing was not right. It should be double. So I actually longed based on that news, and I made $3,000 from, actually made 100% on 10x leverage. So it pumped 10% immediately after listing because the valuation it was listed at was not right. So it's that simple. You just have to monitor this. Now, you might be wondering, you can't sit at the screen at all times, and what you're gonna do. And this is where the mobile app comes in very handy. So we do have a mobile app, which is very, very similar. So you have the mobile app in here. You have the settings, you have the chat as well, which is quite cool. This is a general chat. But if you go down here, there is this little fire icon. It's literally just right there. So this fire icon is the Newsroom. So when you come here, you will be able to just scroll this. Now, I personally recommend, you don't have a lot of time. You just simply do not have a time to waste, especially when it comes to when it comes to the next 6 months. You don't have time to waste when it comes to the next 6 months. Why? Because the bull market is here. So if you want to capitalize on the bull market, I personally would recommend that you start taking this seriously, and instead of scrolling YouTube and instead of scrolling, look, I posted this here, for example. So when instead of scrolling Instagram and instead of scrolling YouTube, I would recommend you scroll this. Every single time when you touch your phone, this should be the first thing that comes up and you scroll. This should be the first thing that you do. You look at it, you scroll through, you see what is happening, and from there you can make money. But I wanted to show you another features that I actually personally use Banter Bubbles for trading. Oh, by the way, there is a win a Bitcoin option. So it's completely free as well. By the way, everything I showed you is completely free. There is nothing like this on the market where you get access to 60 researchers and you can chat in the community chat. It's just crazy. Anyway, so what you can do is that you have to predict the price of Bitcoin by January 1st, 2025 based on the Coinbase pricing, okay? So predict the price of Bitcoin on Coinbase by January 1st, 2025, midnight EST. So if the way to do it is very simple. There are these exchange accounts. You can use my exchange accounts in the description as well. You can simply sign up to an exchange and you have your referral ID. And you click here to ready. You pick the exchange that you sign up using my link in the description. You say what your prediction is, let's say $102,000. And then you can say your account number, whatever your account number is. And then you can click on sign in. You have to sign in, and simply using your email or connecting your X, whichever you prefer, and then you are in the raffle. If you used our exchange account, you have a shot at winning 1 Bitcoin, depending on whether you got the price right. So if you are the closest to the real price on January 1st, you win half a Bitcoin, and if you traded 10 times using the links in the description, you can win a whole Bitcoin. Now, let me show you some other tools, which is pretty cool here. One is you can filter. So you can click on here on the filter button, this little plus icon, and you can filter for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. You can create based on price, market cap, volume, what do you want the bubbles to be sized based on. Here's what is pretty cool. If you go into 1 minute, first of all, it adds this filter. But second, most importantly, you will be able to see how the bubbles update. So now it's very dynamic. It's not like it's been where it had to refresh the page and whatever. Now the bubbles update real time. It's just so cool. So we actually have this on the screen here at all times. We just look at them and we see how they perform. But it's not only the dollar that I'm actually looking at, it's also the Bitcoin. So if you come up here, there's a Bitcoin. So you see it's even set to Bitcoin now. But what I'm looking at, you can pick the US dollar and you can see how much these tokens increased in dollar value. That's interesting, but especially as alt season comes, what you really want to focus on is you want to focus on relative strength compared to Bitcoin. You want to see what outperforms Bitcoin in what scale. So if you see here, you click on US dollar, you have most of the things green because the tokens are going up in value. But if you click on Bitcoin, you will see that Bitcoin is still very strong, and most of the coins that are performing well in dollar value do not outperform Bitcoin. So what you can do is you can look at 𝗙𝗔𝗡𝗙𝗙, you can look at AR, you can look at BitGet's token, you can look at all these tokens and be like, what has relative strength compared to Bitcoin? You can look at it on the daily, for example. You can see 𝗬𝗎, relative strength to Bitcoin is strong. Aptos. If you look at Aptos here, you can go into the dollar and you can see Aptos is up down about 6%. But if you measure it against Bitcoin, it's actually down about 8% today. So there is a big difference. So from this, you can immediately see if you create a filter, for example, 5 minute, and you filter it for Bitcoin, you will be able to see what has relative strength and what increases quite cool. And that's how you can actually take your own trades. You see, I'm going to show you on the minute as well the difference between the drops and between the increases between Bitcoin and US dollar. So that's one thing. And then, of course, if you come here, you will be able to see the language settings. So we have a bunch of languages: Italiano, Polska, Filipino. So we have all these languages over here. You can set the currency. So you might want to see your bag in Bitcoin, or you might want to see your bag in euros. So you can set your currency once you set your portfolio as well. You can show and hide stable coins. So obviously you don't necessarily want to see stable coins on here. So you can hide and show them. Then you can have a favorite list. So you can just pick and add the bubbles that you want in your favorite, and then you will always have a favorite to go to, so you can just toggle in here. And this is the last thing that I wanted to show you, which is you can search for different categories. So you can search for top 1 to 100 in market cap, 101 to 200 in market cap, and then you can also look for ecosystems. You can, so if, for example, I click on Ethereum, these are all the Ethereum tokens. Or you can look at let's say Sol. These are the Sol tokens. So you can look at all these, you can see them update, you can look at it on the daily. Cat is 1,171%. Have you seen that? Simon's cat went 1,001. It's crazy. I call this, they were our partners on the channel. So all of you are hating on the sponsors and it's a sponsor plugin, whatever. I call this at 200. What is the market cap now? Full FDV. What is this? This is not right. This must not be right. 300 mil. Oh, maybe it is right. Maybe it is. Then I called it at 27. I don't know. But I remember that we called it like 10x ago or 5x ago. So it was actually crazy. Anyway, so you have these here. Then you can scroll lower here. You can see layer ones, decentralized finance. You can see NFTs. What is on NFTs? Looks ID, NFT tokens most likely. And then you can see, for example, layer ones, and you can see all the layer ones. So you can filter out what you want to see. And of course, you can create your favorite as well, or you can just click on create list, and then you can pick whatever you want. You can click on done, and you will have it in your favorite. You can create whatever, my other portfolio and whatnot. This is the best way to use the platform. Now, again, it's very, very important that my main thing as I make money with it is very simple. I scroll the newsroom. I do it. I personally do it. I have posted. I have a lot of posts as well. Talking about the posts, This is why it's worth following me on X as well, because I post most of these stuff on my X as well. So you see up here, it's �fe_𝗙𝗏. Up here, it says, so it's saying it up there as well. But if you put it here, it says here, and there's a link in the description. Guys, I truly appreciate you. The way to do this is to monitor the newsroom and act quickly. Act quickly, because for example, when the Irishman called the hype token at $5, if you got in, you would be up 7x. But also, if there is a token gets listing, we post all that. We post all the FOMC news, CPI data, everything. If something happens, this is the first place I go. I look through what happened. I see the market pumping. I see the market dumping. I look there and I find out what happened. Guys, this has been it. I hope that you understand a little bit more about Banter Bubbles. I hope that you got to understand how you can actually make money out of this free tool. And also, it is the most powerful tool I have used in crypto, and it is completely free, literally free, and it allows you to win a Bitcoin. Anyway, guys, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comment section what you thought. Like it, share it, love it. Follow me on X. And also, do not forget that you have a 20% deposit bonus using BitUnix here. There is a link in the description to them as well. 20% deposit bonus. You can't get a better deal than that. Thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate you. And I believe I'll see you in the next one. Take care.